All right, remember former First Lady Michelle Obama? For the first time in my adult life, I'm proud of my country. Said it a couple of times. Now raising eyebrows after she compared President Trump to a, quote, divorced dad and America to a broken family. Telling Stephen Colbert at a Sunday book event, quote, we come from a broken family. We're a teenager. We're a little unsettled, and having good parents, it's tough. Sometimes you spend the weekend with the divorced dad. It feels like it's fun, but then you get sick. That's what America is going through. We're kind of living with a divorced dad. I know some great divorced dads that love their kids. Whatever happened to when they go low, we go high? And get this, even some in the destroy Trump media, they're pushing back at these ridiculous comments. Frankly, this broad sweeping generalization. Take a look.
She got some chuckles, but that was a sexist comment.
Oh, I think so. And I think divorced dads,
dads everywhere
who are good dads are probably upset about it.
It's surprising to me that Michelle Obama would make this mistake.
Yeah. Well, do you think it was a mistake?
Yes.
You think it was a mistake? Okay.
Do I think it was a mistake? One of my best friends, John Gomez, he married the love of his life, who happened to be divorced and had a girl. He was the best stepdad ever. Joining us now, Fox News contributor Tammy Bruce, Fox News correspondent at large Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo, I'm going to start with you.
Because I've been divorced?
Well, kind of, but you know something, because I know you, every single one of your ex-wives loves you. And your children love you. I've been around them many, many times, and they are great kids. That's so demeaning and insulting, that generalization of hers.
It is demeaning and insulting, and you should win the People's Pulitzer Prize, your team, and the people who won it from the New York Times and the Washington Post should give it back. Having said that, as a person who has experienced divorce, as you suggest, she's reduced to us to a sexist stereotype with a bad parent who gives candy and lets the kids watch too much TV because we have a guilty conscience about the breakup of the marriage. I think it's a rare misstep, though, Sean. In fairness, Erica, my wife, and my sister Irene went to see First Lady Michelle.
How do you make a pass on for the first time in my adult life? I'm proud of America.
Well, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about divorced dads. And here in Cleveland, she bent over backwards to be gracious about the president. That's why this surprised me, because this is it's a no-brainer. 30% of custodial parents following divorce are the men. Men of divorce. So she's reducing us to this stereotype. We're drinking beer. We see the kids every other Sunday, and they're running around. Go ahead, kid, eat all the cotton candy you want. And she's equating that scenario with the American people and their view of President Trump. That's what this is about. This is about a false feel-good sentiment in the country because of the president's irresponsibility.
I know Geraldo's kids. They love and worship their father, who's a great dad. And, only because it's been so widely publicized. I wouldn't have brought it up otherwise, Geraldo, you know that. And you talk about it often. But how insulting. Just like it was insulting, World War II, beating fascism, Nazism, Imperial Japan. Only now you're proud of your country?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a pleasure to be on with both of you guys here. And if I was in the audience, this was at her book tour, the audience was actually a little taken aback. There were some chuckles, as was noted on that clip from that other network. But this is very strange, and I don't know if it's necessarily out of step. I think Michelle Obama has been known for being very honest, and she doesn't tend to edit herself. I think that when she does, it's a deliberate effort to do so. This may have reflected more of her point of view, but the problem here is it's not just insulting to men. And for every woman and man out in that audience who didn't quite know why she was insulting them, but it relies also on the other side of the coin, which is the gender stereotype of women. that all women are supposed to be either great mothers or only women can raise children or only women can be good parents. Now, the best scenario is two parents who love those kids. And we know that love is love, and it's about, you know, the nature of who can love a child. And that is also, of course, a part of the problem of her remarks is the gender stereotyping that the left is normally going out against. She really destroys in that regard. And this is one of my points about the left and liberals.
Well,
if you scratch the surface a little bit, you get these real opinions that are quite the opposite of what they've been arguing for.
Well, real quick, I'll ask you, why do they get a pass, Geraldo? Because if a conservative said this, forget it.
Because she's made 50 speeches in the last 40 days, and this is the first time you've heard something that was a misstep. I mean, she's an elegant lady.
You are so forgiving.
She had a rough time at the White House.
You have such a soft heart.
I think that she will be fondly remembered by most. I love Melania. Onward and upward. I think that she has to be judged by her track record.
Last word, Tammy.
Well, look, I think that she's not a sloppy woman. She said what she meant, and it was insulting, and I think it revealed a side of her that a lot of people don't like, but I think we need to keep that in mind. It's weird how Democrats keep doing that and keep surprising us with these kinds of opinions, isn't it?
All right. Good to see you both. We appreciate your time.
Well, as we told you at the top of the show, Democratic presidential candidate Eric Swalwell committed an almost unprecedented act of honesty recently when he talked about guns. He didn't talk about background checks or barrel shrouds. He was far more blunt. He said, we're banning semi-automatic rifles if I'm president. We're going to take them from their owners by force, and anyone who refuses to comply goes to jail. That's the Swalwell program. Quentin James is co-founder of the Collective PAC, pretty familiar with Democratic politics, and Mr. James joins us tonight. Thanks so much for coming on. So we've had Swalwell on this show a bunch of different times about Russia. We've never had him on about guns. He won't come on. So I'm interested in your take on this. I don't think I'm misunderstanding it. In fact, I'm not. What he's saying is that anybody who possesses a legal product today will soon be a felon when he makes that product illegal, and without committing any act of violence, that person can be imprisoned. That sounds like mass incarceration to me. I would think you'd be against it.
Well, Tucker, thanks for having me. Obviously, again, you do have it a little wrong. Congressman Swalwell did say he wants to ban, military-style assault rifles. He also said that folks who want to keep them would be able to do so at a gun club or a hunter's range in a locker. So it's not taking them by force. It would be a buyback program. Again, this is his proposal, not mine.
No, but he
so
just said, I'm sorry. No, I know it's not your proposal, but he just said, he said twice, he actually wrote a USA Today op-ed saying it, and then he just said it on CNN. People who don't give up their guns will go to jail. He just said that. So it's not a buyback program. That's a gun confiscation by force.
People who don't follow the law,
if you don't agree, we're going to imprison you.
People who don't follow the law will be prosecuted. Now, what the charges are...
and the law is you can't have the guns in your home. Well, he couldn't be clearer. So, like, look, we can't debate what he's saying. You're mischaracterizing it. I just played the clip. Let's debate the proposal itself.
But
you would get a civil war if you did this. Why would you want to do this?
That you are not talking about that are really important. And listen, I think, look, the majority of Americans agree that we need to fix our broken gun law system. We have a broken system here where folks are,
that's banal. We're talking about a specific. Okay, I got it. Okay,
but it's about
but I just gave you. This is so frustrating. Here's a presidential candidate. Here, it's really simple.
Yes.
It is the issue. Here's a Democratic presidential candidate who is offering a very specific solution, which you are ignoring because it's embarrassing.
No, I'm not.
Why don't you just say, yes, I support putting people in prison if they don't give up their guns, or no, I don't support it. But
Tucker,
why are you saying
I support
this stuff that's irrelevant to the specific?
I support
Would you support putting people in prison if they don't give up their guns?
If people want to break the law, whatever the punishment for those crimes are, they should definitely deal with. I do agree with that, yes.
Man. Man, you guys are reckless. People wouldn't give up. I would never give up.
We've already had an assault
circumstance.
weapons ban in this country for 10 years.
No.
We've already done it.
If I have a firearm in my house and I'm posing no threat, I'm not giving it up. And most Americans wouldn't.
It's not about any weapon.
You know
it's not about any weapon.
So what are we
going to
keep
your pistols, keep your shotguns. This is about military-style weapons and getting them off of our streets. This is a big problem in terms of
you're scaring people and talk like this. You're scaring me.
Look, we all want to be able to defend ourselves. We all.
I agree
with the Second Amendment.
Because you want total power, and you know that.
But this is it's not about total power, Tucker. This is about saving
it's
children's
about total
lives.
Power, and we're hip to
all
this.
Of your viewers, all of your viewers who
being
are
told we're out of time.
faithful people, I would hate for them to be able, what I would
hate
for them to be able to go to church,
go to prison for exercising their constitutional rights.
Not worry about some crazy person coming in.
Please don't try this crap on America.
People.
All right. We're out of time. Mr. James, thank you very much. I appreciate it.